and welcome to Wolfcast, episode 24.
You had to remind yourself. You had to glance back down at it. I saw that. There was a quick glance. You had to remind yourself which episode we were on.
You saw nothing?
I saw everything.
You saw nothing? I was double checking to make sure the picture was still there.
I thought she was hesitating on, like, after she's like, hello! Like, I don't know if I want to do this voice anymore.
No,
it was, hello! I glance. And welcome to Wolfcast.
You know what? We've done 23 of these already. This is our 24th one. I had to make sure I wasn't going to say 23. I'm like, wait, what are we on? Okay, 24.
Have we really?
We've
No, we do
officially been doing this for 6 months.
Yeah, we're officially on our 24th episode.
But we do these weekly.
Yeah.
I'm stupid, never mind.
Yes, it's okay. You're blonde. It's okay. We know the hair dye doesn't work.
I was sitting there going, yeah, there's 12.
Shaves his head, he's looking himself in the mirror. You better lose yourself in the...
You're absolutely precious, dear.
Look, we've been doing this for 23 episodes now.
24. This is 24 today. Yes.
44, 6 months,
I mean,
12 plus years of friendship.
Yeah.
Minus me.
Get up there.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry, I had to let the dog in. He decided right as we started that he had to go pee. So what are we talking about today, boys?
Fucking what's true, what's not, what's been hiding from us, what's being told.
Conspiracy theories. Da, 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 da.
Why do we look like we want to handshake each other, but we're too far apart? We're both lazy to get up and handshake.
That's the conspiracy. We're actually close together.
Right. You're like right against each other, but you just can't see.
Yeah, but because of the moon and whatnot.
Stars can't do it.
Yeah. Not today.
No, stars.
You heard him. The stars can't do it. Not today.
I love Road to El Dorado. That's such a cute movie.
And a lot of sex jokes in that movie.
Yeah, a lot.
My virgin years.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Excuse you. It's been a while.
Just make you. That doesn't magic.
I think after a certain period of time, you become a virgin again.
That ain't
not
how
how
that
that
works. That's not how
You're
any of
nervous.
this works.
That's not how any
You're
of this
nervous. You
works.
don't know how to do it.
I wasn't nervous my first time. I just let instinct take over.
Where it's like, what was it?
I did, and I said, "Where does this go?"
Where does this go? I had seen on like Vine, or not Vine, God, forever since I said Vine, on TikTok where it's like, man, it's been so long since I've had sex. What if I forget how to moan? What if I bark?
These are weird conspiracy theories, guys.
Right. So what is a conspiracy theory? I have it. A conspiracy theory is an explanation for an event or situation that invokes conspiracy by sinister and powerful groups, often political in motivation when other explanations are more probable.
That being said, there is a difference between a conspiracy and a conspiracy theory.
The conspiracies have been proven. Theories
Yes.
are still in.
A theory is something that has not been proven.
My little alien looks so fucking adorable.
Not menacing at all. Although we can't really, it's weird though, because like we know, like when all this shit first started going down with the disease and whatnot, didn't somebody come out and they're like, yeah, aliens are real, by the way, and nobody gave a flying fuck.
So the whole he who shall not be named administration was like trying to diffuse and throw off people going, yeah, they're real.
Nobody cared.
And we're like, yeah, we already know this. Like,
It was literally that scene from Jurassic Park where there's like, Dachshund, we got Dachshund here. See,
Dachshund,
nobody cares.
we got Dawson here. See, nobody cares.
Like, we've already known this. You guys have been hiding it for no fucking reason. So.
Right, like Roswell happened.
A lot of shit's happened. Too much shit has happened to be ignored. We don't care.
And Roswell is actually a giant conspiracy theory. Like, it still is. Like, with Area 54 and all that. Like,
51?
there's still... Huh?
51?
Did I say 54?
Yes.
Oops. Delete, no.
I do think there is an Area 54, but it's not the same thing.
I have no idea, but no, like the Area 51, like they're saying like basically it's just, you know, for airplane storage and like airplane testing, airplane storage and testing, and but there's so much that it's like, you try it off. Like, I understand it's a military base, but there are other military bases that you can just walk on with no problem.
And hell, Camp Atterbury here in Indiana, you can straight up hunt on that property.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't go into like the armory and shit,
Right,
for
no.
obvious safety reasons. They got that shit barbed wired up.
But you can at least go on the actual physical property.
Hell, me and my dad were out there hunting, looking for a spot to hunt, and we got stopped by military police because the area we were looking to hunt in was right behind their artillery testing range.
Yeah, that's not good.
And we were like, oh.
Are bad. But yeah, no, like at least most military bases, you can actually literally go on the property and not get stopped. You can't even go past the gated border of where it starts.
Well, no. See, that's where I'll argue that. I had friends who were in the military, friends of the family, and we were staying with them, and they were in a military base in somewhere down in Florida, don't know where. But we had to go through a gate, and we had to tell them who we were there for, how long we were staying. Like, they had to document our shit.
Well, yeah.
And then they called the dude's wife, because he was deployed at the time. They called the dude's wife and was like, hey, do you know these people? What are they doing here? Asking her the exact same fucking questions, because it is a military base. You can't just walk in.
Right.
They have to document you. They have to know why you're there, because otherwise you just walk in there, grab an AR, and fucking go to town. You'll get gunned down immediately, but you could do it.
Right, could.
Like, so security is fine. But I think a lot of it is after Roswell, people saw shit being carted off to that military base, and then the fact that you can't Google Maps it, you just get this blank image almost. It used to be a completely black square in the middle of Nevada.
Right.
That's where that's at, right? Nevada?
Yes, Nevada.
Okay. But it used to just be a black square on Google Maps. But then they took away the black square, and now you just get a less detailed image.
Like, hey, this is where it is. Like, I was watching this thing on YouTube where this guy gives tours out in that area, and he wasn't paying attention and drove past the first warning sign saying, hey, you're entering Area 51. And like there were black cars on him in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're watching that area heavily. There are also reports back in the day of people not realizing where they're flying, and they've flown over Area 51 and been fired upon.
Oof.
Because they were in restricted airspace, or they've gotten warnings, hey, you've entered restricted airspace, please turn back.
Right, like turn around. Turn around. We were saying that earlier playing Fortnite. Shit. I know one of Alpha's favorite places in Denver has a giant conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
The Denver International Airport. There are so many conspiracy theories there. You also have the conspiracy theories around Princess Diana, JFK. You've got, what else is there? There's you've got Roswell. You've got the Paul McCartney death. Like he's really dead. Or there's the new one with Avril Lavigne, that she actually is dead, and someone else that looks almost like her is actually singing.
Huh.
There's a big conspiracy theory about that. Yeah, but then there's a big conspiracy theory about that one. You have the 9/11 conspiracies. You've got subliminal advertising.
I see my favorite one on there.
Which one?
Birds aren't real.
Yeah,
they're unmanned drones spying on us from the government.
The birds are part of the bourgeoisie.
I'm sorry, that's one of the more ridiculous ones. So the idea of the government using birds or microchips to track us and monitor us, here is why that is ridiculous. There is a good chance somebody is listening to this podcast from their tracking device, i.e. your cell phone.
Yeah.
Your cell phones and your computers, everything on them is constantly monitored all the fucking time. It has your location, your email. And if they want to look deep enough, a higher person in the government can go through your messages, your emails, what you posted on Facebook last week.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to microchip us. They don't need unmanned drones. We have gotten to that point where they just look at our phones.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one going around where like like when you turn your TV off, there's that little red power button or dot or whatever light?
That one was actually real, kind of to an extent. So people were going, "Oh, they're using our smart TVs to spy on us because smart TVs had those cameras." And it was yes true, but no true. The people who were doing the spying were people who were hacking into those smart TVs to spy on families.
Or like people that hacked into baby monitors and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It
Frostbite
wasn't.
said there's people on TikTok saying snow is fake.
Yeah, there's some where they show like they're burning snow and stuff like that. But a lot of stuff on TikTok also can be faked as well.
Well, also that TikTok has been explained.
Oh,
You can burn snow.
can you?
Yes.
Huh.
If you get a high enough heat, put it on there directly, it'll burn before it'll melt. Because it's not just water.
It's whatever chemicals are in the air and
Chemicals, minerals could be in there.
acid rain.
Like, there was a
Science,
person who
bitch.
did one of those duet things that TikTok does, and they show somebody, look, snow isn't real, and they're burning it, and then they switch over to them, and they explain to you that in some instances you can burn snow. You can't burn snow everywhere, but in the right area, under the right conditions, you can burn snow. It's like how people would say McDonald's cheese isn't real because it burns, it doesn't melt. It's cheese.
It's cheese.
It's just not dairy-based cheese.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's cheese is Kraft cheese. I'd hate to break it to everybody.
Oh, is it really?
Well, your McDonald's cheese is Kraft cheese. Not every McDonald's uses Kraft cheese. Like, all these brand cheese, that burns.
Then you have the cheese I had growing up, the poor man's cheese. It doesn't melt. It just kind of
sticks. I hate that shit. It's like, you melt it, and then like you poke it, and it sticks to your finger, and you lift the entire thing off your burger, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck, Richard?
Like, it's ridiculous, the things that people come up with. And a lot of times, a lot of these are just either tinfoil hat, they're fucking insane, or they're looking for something that doesn't exist.
Right, just their 15 minutes of fame.
And so you also have the Illuminati on there.
Yep.
That one's, I don't consider that a conspiracy theory.
No, it still is with them because of the stuff that goes on with like the temples and stuff like that. You're still going to have your theories.
The reason why I don't consider the Illuminati a conspiracy theory, more along the lines of a conspiracy, is because we know there's higher people.
Well, yeah.
It's obvious. No matter where you look, there's a higher power controlling the person we think is in power.
That's how it's always been.
So the idea of this secret organization doing it all isn't surprising. And we already kind of figured that out.
Right, but I mean, it's still out. I mean, people still have their theories about it.
The idea that the Illuminati are hiding, like, these superpower weapons and shit like that, that's a conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember the other group's name. It's a bunch of rich old fuckers.
The Templars, the Knight Templar.
Not the Knights Templars. It's another one.
The Masons.
No.
Yeah, no.
It's not the Masons, because the Masons are the Illuminati.
The fuck is it?
It's like the something 8 or some shit like that.
Oh, then I'm way off.
But they're part of it as well, and they're a group of people from all across the world that meet up in a secret area up in the mountains and have meetings. And we already know that there are secret areas where presidents get together.
Yeah.
There's an area in the middle of some forest somewhere where a bunch of rich fucks, including the president of the United States, the last one, I'm going to assume the current one, and all the way back to fucking JFK, have been seen going to this place, and they talk about shit.
Yeah,
we don't know what they
games.
talk about. We have no idea what the fuck they talk about. The last guy who got a video camera in there, we don't know what the fuck happened to him. We found the camera.
It's not him.
Just not him. Don't know where the fuck he went, but he gone. He was here, but now he gone.
Is it considered a conspiracy theory about the Walt Disney thing being frozen?
Yes.
Walt Disney being frozen, Hitler still being alive. There was one that popped up for a brief time where they found a homeless guy in LA, and when they cleaned him up and shaved him, he looked like an elderly Elvis Presley.
Also the conspiracy theory that Michael Jackson's still alive and went to his own funeral.
Yep. Like, there are tons of conspiracy theories.
I mean, technically, you could actually make a conspiracy theory out of damn near anything.
Yeah, like,
I want to hear the one on Avril Lavigne.
it's
Um,
it's just people saying that she died forever ago, and to keep her fame, because people loved her, they replaced her with a lookalike, sound-alike. And when you think about it, it's possible. We have lookalike, sound-alikes in movies all the fucking time.
Yeah.
see. The Avril Lavigne replacement conspiracy theory is conspiracy theory and urban legend stating that Canadian singer Avril Lavigne died in 2003 shortly after the release of her successful debut studio album Let's Go, and was replaced by a body double named Melissa Vandella. Evidence used to support the theory includes changes in Lavigne's appearance between 2003 and the present, supposed subliminal messaging in her follow-up effort, Under My Skin, and a photo shoot in which Levine was said has the name Melissa written on her hand. The origins of the theory can be traced back to 2011 Brazilian blog Avril Está Morta, which is Avril is Dead, which led to conversations on internet forums sharing supposed evidence of Levine's replacement. The theory gained more traction in May of 2017 when a Twitter user posted a thread recounting the theory. Levine herself has declined the theory on multiple occasions.
There's another one that... Go ahead.
I just feel like either A, she like really fucking, because she's like weird like that, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like just her appearance, and because I follow her on Twitter and her music. I'm a huge Avril Lavigne fan, always have been. I think she's beautiful.
No, she is beautiful. The fact that she's so imperfect is that makes her beautiful. Like the fact that she has crooked teeth and her, she's not like completely perfectly, immaculately beautiful. She's just her flawed beauty, which makes her incredibly beautiful.
I just think that either A, that she like took this conspiracy theory and just fed it, like went along with it, and or it's just not like I think she still looks the same, but like obviously older. And actually, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I don't mean this in a bad way either, but like I think she's like more beautiful than she already was.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's aged
aging
and...
way well.
Mm-hmm.
There's another conspiracy theory that's been recently gaining steam thanks to TikTok.
Mm.
I can't remember the name. Who was it? I want to say it was Beethoven.
What is it?
It was either Beethoven or Poe. Don't remember who, but...
There's theories around Edgar Allan Poe's death.
Well, so one of the two were married to a woman who has a name of a very famous actress nowadays. God, I can't fucking remember who it is. But her husband now looks exactly like this guy who was supposed to have died in the 1600s, 1700s.
Oh, there's lots of stuff like that. There's one that looks like Keanu Reeves, Leo.
Well, the
Jamie
reason why this
Foxx.
one is different is because it's the actress that we have now has the exact same name as that guy's wife in whatever era, whoever the fuck it was, and her husband looks exactly like that guy.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's just,
Reincarnation.
it could be reincarnation. It could be immortals living among us. It could be a number of things. It could also just be people grasping at straws where there aren't any.
That's so fucking scary.
Slowly puts down my straws. Damn it.
What's scary about what?
That they're just they're the possible chance of immortals,
What's scary about it?
just because they've been around so much longer, so they know more. Like
Right.
they could do shit that they did back in the day, or things that I don't know. It's just it's a scary
This is
thought.
why I always say if I ever found a vampire, I'd be like, turn me, because I love history. I love watching history. I love seeing it change. I want to watch it change. I want to see what happens. Like that is so incredibly fascinating to me. It's like I want to live longer to see what happens. It's like I don't want to die and miss what happens. I just want to keep going. And it's like people ask, it's like, well, you have to kill as a vampire and you have to watch your loved ones die and fade. Like, well, I understand that. That's part of life. But if I have my husband and my son, like, hey, I'm a vampire. You want to join me? Let's go. But just a chance to watch history blossom and bloom like that is just incredibly fascinating to me. So I'd want to pick their brain and be like, what do you know? What have you seen?
There's also the theory that time travel's already been invented.
Yeah.
I feel like it has, in all honesty.
Well, there's that, and that we're getting up to the point where time travel gets invented. And the reason why is because you got pictures of like the JFK assassination. There's a guy standing there, and he's got like modern day sunglasses and modern day clothes on, and people are looking at him weird.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with a lot of photos and shit though nowadays is you throw them into Adobe Photoshop, and if you know what you're doing,
Yeah, you can age it up to look.
you can make it look really fucking well.
Or there's one where it's a lady back in like the 20s. Looks like she's talking on a cell phone.
Yeah, when she's not. It just happens to be the way her hand is.
Or she time traveled.
I don't know, it's weird. Another fucked up one is the moon landing one.
Oh yeah, like how the
Like,
moon
I don't
landing
even
was
know
fake.
why that is still a conspiracy theory. I'd like to think we're smarter now to know that not only did they not have the tech back in the day, and before people are like, oh, well, they could have had NASA do it. They did. They had NASA's lights on the moon. NASA did the moon landing. Like, it's...
Isn't it
how
like,
worked.
isn't the theory like they just did it in like a production
Yeah,
studio?
they did it in a studio, and the counter argument was like something you couldn't get those angles or that lighting in a movie studio, and they're like, oh, well, they could have used lasers, and they're like, yeah, you want to know the strongest laser they had back in the day? And they showed a picture of this massive laser grid that fit inside of an airplane hangar, and it was fucking huge. No way you could have fit it on a sound set comfortably and not had it clipping into the shot. They didn't have Photoshop. Like, they didn't have all this shit that you're assuming they had. Not to mention, if you go out with a telescope on a full moon and zoom in on the moon as much as you can see the shit we left behind. You can
Still up there to
literally...
this day?
Yes!
Yeah, the flag's faded because of the immense sun exposure, but it's still up there.
It's still up there, and the lander is still up
Yeah,
there.
the lander's still up there. Yep.
You can see this shit if you just go outside with a telescope and look. So my question is, where's the conspiracy theory that the moon isn't real? Because you know that's going to happen. Once we absolutely, for sure, get rid of these, oh, the moon landing was fake people.
Or the flat earthers.
But once we get rid of those people and convince them that, the moon landing was real, they're going to be like...
Not. And I will beat you.
They're going to be like, well, then the moon isn't real. Like, the fuck? You know how tides work? You know we're fucked if that thing goes away?
Mm-hmm. Not the moon, the earth would be screwed.
The moon is just cheese.
Yeah, the moon is cheese. The flat earth one is also fucking retarded. We got rid of that one. That shouldn't have come back, and the fact that it did is just dumb.
Right.
Thanks a lot, Logan Paul.
But it better not have been him that started it.
He did a whole documentary on is the Earth flat or round?
Oh my god.
Back in like 2018, 19,
That
17.
That is the dumbest shit in the fucking world. We've had it proved for decades now.
The millennia is 100 years. No, that's century. So millennia is...
Millennia is thousands of years, I believe.
I mean, it's been thousands of years.
But we've known the Earth isn't flat. You can see the curvature from space. You can test it with different fucking scientific methods that I don't know off the top of my head. There was one flat earther who built his own rocket because he was going to go up and prove and take pictures. You want to know what his pictures proved? The Earth is round. He came back down and apparently burned the photos.
Yeah, because, he was pretty.
And then he was arrested for making a rocket without a permit. Like, there are so many conspiracy theories that are made just because either people want attention or people aren't smart enough to pick up a book. Like, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
There are some we can't prove. But most of them we can sit there and go, fuck you. The Princess Diana conspiracy. That's one that we can't really be like, nah.
Well, from what I heard, from what I did my research on, there's two conspiracy theories. Is that one, that the Queen just didn't like Princess Diana and wanted her killed, or it was the person that was with Princess Diana.
She died in a car crash, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah. Let me see, where is it? That she was with. It had been a billionaire promoted that Mohammed Al-Fayed, the father of Dodi Al-Fayed, who was killed alongside Diana. Al-Fayed claims that the accident was in fact an assassination by British intelligence agencies at the request of the royal family.
So they're thinking MI6 did it?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess. My favorite thing about that entire conspiracy theory, and I brought this up to May several times, actor/director, what's his name?
There's many of them.
When he's British, and he was getting interviewed, and they asked him if the Queen killed him.
Oh, John Cleese.
Yeah, John Cleese. He was in an interview on some British broadcasting network. I don't remember where. And he was telling a story. And he's like, I once got approached by a fan, and he asked me a very simple question. He's like, do you think the Queen killed Diana? I looked at him, and I said, well, certainly not with her bare hands. And I was like, you clever fucking bastard.
Not with her bare hands.
I feel like a fucking idiot.
Why?
Because I'm sitting here like reading chat and someone joined and was talking and I was like, hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking it out. Please make sure you subscribe to us. And they're like, I already am. I'm a teammate of Fang's. And then I re-looked at the name and I was like, oh, shit. I'm a fucking idiot.
All right. We appreciate the love and support. Thank you.
Yes. But
Shout out
it's...
Warrior.
Hi, Maury.
You also have the one that they tried to cover up, but it goes along the ways of Aliens, the Battle of L.A. So you might have heard about the movie or the broadcast that happened called the Battle of Los Angeles. It was an actual thing that happened where dozens of military personnel were out in the street unloading rounds into this fucking thing. And it doing nothing. There's no clear picture of it. Like, the pictures you'll see show, like, a spotlight going up into the sky and then, like, an AA cannon firing into the air. But that's all you'll see. You can't see what they're shooting at. And then after the event, after all that noise, all that money wasted in resources, they came out and was like, turns out it was a weather balloon. If that was a weather balloon, then the U.S. Army has the worst aim in the fucking world.
They're nothing but a bunch of red shirts.
No,
And
because there's a bunch of stormtroopers because they were unloading on this thing with AA cannons and small arms fire, and it never took it down. I'm sorry, if it's a weather balloon, your aim should be better than that. It's not moving that fucking fast. That's what causes conspiracy theories to happen. When we sit there and we watch the U.S. military unload rounds into the sky, and then the best explanation we're given is weather balloon.
Weather balloon.
No, the fuck it wasn't, dude. No, I don't care what you're telling me. It wasn't.
You're a liar.
And I'm going to put to rest a conspiracy right now. So I was a plumber's apprentice for a hot minute. I went to school for it. I did all that shit. The motherfuckers you got walking around going, there's fluoride in the water. There's all these chemicals in the water. They're right. There is. So when the water is being processed, it is cleaned with fluoride and a bunch of other chemicals to make it safe to drink. That all happens in the water plant. While it is also there, it is filtered again to get all those chemicals out. Is there going to be a small amount left over in the water? Yes, you can't 100% something. You can't guarantee you got it all out. But if there was enough of it in the water to cause harm, 90% of the U.S. population would be dead.
Mm-hmm.
like, you're right, but you're wrong.
You're right, but you're wrong.
There are chemicals in the water. Not nearly enough to fucking kill you. Unless you're downing, like, gallons and gallons of water, and even then, it's probably not the chemicals that killed you.
You can actually...
You probably
die.
drowned yourself
Yeah.
on land. Which you can do.
Yeah. So I also thought it was interesting in what was it, Constantine, how they said he literally drank himself to death, like, and drowned from drinking that much.
It wasn't alcohol poisoning. He just drowned
He
himself.
drowned.
Because here's a fun fact for you. A water drop as small as a pea could cause you to drown.
No, it's a teaspoon.
Is it
Teaspoon
a
of water.
teaspoon?
A teaspoon of water can
I
kill
just
you.
remember there was a story about a kid who was swimming in a pool and he inhaled a bunch of water. So he comes up out of the water coughing and choking and all that shit. Spends the rest of his day perfectly fine. Parents go to check on him after he's gone to sleep and he's dead. Because there was water in his lungs.
Mm-hmm.
He had drowned on land.
Yep. It's a thing. It happens.
It's unfortunate, but it does.
Yep. I know it. That still makes me giggle. Just I'm sitting there getting abducted.
It's still funny that, like, once again, something is happening to you.
And you guys are just oblivious. It's true though. Shit can be happening, and I'm like, and you guys just like, nah.
That's not true. I'm always cautious of my surroundings.
Also reuse template.
Hey, you know what? Such
Damn, exposing
my
the
wiggly
artist, the
I'm
editor,
doing it. I'm doing
and
it.
wife.
I'm doing it before the comment section can do it. It's to save time and resources.
Yeah, I didn't have time to. And because I like reusing a lot of the stuff I've drawn because I altered it. Like I altered the guys' shirts. I altered his eyes to be open. I changed my outfit. I drew this to it. So I did.
Yeah.
So.
But it's just for time's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to stop a conspiracy theory from happening from this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They don't do their own artwork live.
Just imagine, like, my thoughts is like in this picture is just you're getting abducted and then like Fang looking at me. So Call of Duty at 4.
Yeah, essentially is what would be
Caught
happening.
it for.
Well, what made me really giggle is on the back of your shirt, Alpha. I have a cow getting abducted.
So the exact same thing that's happening in the background.
Yeah. Spin.
Whoa!
I want a divorce.
What's the beginning or what's the front of the shirt say? I believe.
I believe.
What's on Fang's shirt?
It's the Illuminati symbol.
Because of course it is.
Okay.
See, I got a funny story about that. When I first met my biological dad for the first time, which I'm sure was a glorious. I want to know what went through his mind that day. Because my dad's 6'1", 280-pound ex-Marine knocking on his door. I want to know what went through his fucking mind.
Well, this is it.
But I talked to him. I found out he was a Mason. And by proxy, I have a free ride into the Masons. I'm not doing it, but I have it.
Side note, before you continue, men who are Masons, like their fathers or uncles or brothers or whatever are Masons, can get in perfectly fine. If you're a woman and you want to get into the Masons,
You have to be grandfathered in.
No, it's either grandfathered in or you have to have a lot of people saying yeah. Like you got to go through a lot of
Well, you know
thing.
why, right? The Masons started as a gentleman's club.
Yeah, well, women are smarter.
But I remember one day I was talking to him on the phone, and I just randomly started asking him questions about, like, conspiracy shit. And he was rolling around the questions as much as possible. He was swerving around them, ignoring them, changing the subject. I'm like, you're giving me all the answers I want right here.
Right. Just by not telling me, you're telling me quite enough.
Knowing what I know now, he probably didn't know a damn fucking thing.
Probably.
Because it's only the high ranking, the fuckers that have been there for years that know anything at all.
Yeah.
Like, even when you get indicted into the Masons, you'll go into, I don't remember what they call them, basically their temple.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll go through the ritual and you'll be brought in. But even as you're doing that, there are multiple rooms you're not allowed in.
Oh, yeah.
They don't just let you in and they go, hey, here's all the world's secrets.
If only.
Like, the protocols of the Elders of Zion. Yes!
I actually have no idea what that one is. I have to look that one up.
It's, we are under. Oh, what is it? We are under the influence of an alien race that is subterranean.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's what that one is. The only thing I think of
What?
every time I hear about it is Zoltan.
What if each story is just a television show? Like someone's story, so like my life is a television show on God's TV.
See, you're getting into oh, what is it? And in case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good morning, and
Truman.
the Truman Show, because that's what the Truman Show is. His entire life is a lie being broadcasted worldwide to people as a TV show. And it's like, how do you know that your life isn't a TV show?
Mm-hmm.
My life would be a pretty fucking boring TV show.
My favorite theory is one that I kind of came up with on my own. Conspiracy theories are just hiding the real thing. That the government wants us to come up with conspiracy theories to hide what they're actually doing.
I mean, it seems legit. I believe
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'd say.
I mean, like with the JFK assassination.
It wasn't me, it was the CIA. That was his last words before he was assassinated.
Yeah. I mean, and someone had pointed it out on TikTok where if you watch when he gets shot the second time, the driver turns around. It looks like the driver's the one that shoots him because it's such a close proximity.
Yeah.
So there's so much theories as to it, and it's like it's crazy to see.
I had another conspiracy theory that recently popped up that I can't remember it now.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about the government, talking about I can't remember. Yep. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it'll come around eventually. Subliminal advertising, I don't consider that a...
Yeah, you'll think of it when you're laying in bed at night.
I got it! But
I do all the time.
subliminal advertising, I don't think is a conspiracy theory anymore.
There's a great movie about that I really love. They did it. Oh, I gotta think of it. What is it? It's
Really?
no. They make a joke about it in Family Guy where it's he's like,
Oh,
put on the
boy.
glasses. Put on the glasses. It's not Enemy Mine. God, son of a bless it.
But the reason why I don't think subliminal advertising is a conspiracy anymore is because we know. Like, we already know. So if I sit here and talk about dog food, if you play this through your speakers, you'll start seeing advertisements for dog food on fucking Facebook and Google and shit. You start talking
Yeah, we've
about a
talked
certain
about that
anime.
quite-
They live.
They live, okay. But it's like, an example would be Alpha and I recently started talking about VR headsets. Alpha starts seeing advertisements for VR shit. And it's almost kind of...
Because I would see it on, because I never get on Facebook. I'll have like a rare, like okay, whatever, I'll check it. And so I checked it, and I started seeing them everywhere. And then I get on Twitter a couple days later, which I use every day, all the time. Started seeing it. Well, got to like the 5th day, and I was like, all right, if I see these motherfuckers tomorrow, I'm getting one. I'm finally doing it. Putting the fucking nail in the coffin, doing it. Sure enough, saw it. Like, it's weird. You and I have brought that up, like, on, like, probably, like, 20 different occasions.
Well, it's been proven that, like, that stuff, like, there's something that does listen to what you're talking about. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
does
When you
start
agree to the terms and conditions of your phone, you're agreeing to the microphone being almost constantly in use and for that information to be used for marketing purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
Because I even said something to my father about it, and he was like, bullshit. And then, like, the next day, he, like, texts me. He's like, come here. Come out there.
Did he have an advertisement on his phone for an Oculus?
Not an Oculus, but, like, for whatever he was talking about that day or whatever. And he's like, I'm fucking seeing it everywhere. He's like, you got me fucking freaking out and shit. And I was
It's
like,
not...
I told you.
It's not new anymore. It's... So sure, back in the day, it might have been a little freaky to think about, but microphones are everywhere. They're in your computer. They're in your phones. We're talking into microphones right now. The program we're using, Discord, probably listens in and sells that information to the highest bidder. But I just get disconnected from the call for calling out Discord.
Well,
Joke's on you, I'm not using my Discord, I'm using my wife's.
oh yeah, FBI, open up! Damn it.
But it's like, it's not subliminal anymore. We know we're being advertised. And I think, if anything, the advertising industry is panicking a little bit because newer generations aren't buying cable TV. What we are buying are things that don't come with advertisements. Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, whatever the
Those
fuck
are
they call it.
advertised everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They are advertised everywhere, but they do not have advertisements in them. We're watching TV shows, we're watching movies without having the channel serve.
Yeah.
Like, I believe there was a company who actually tweeted out saying millennials are killing cable television. It's like, yeah, we're not falling for the same shit.
Right. Or it's most people don't
I
want
mean, because
cable.
all fucking all that's on fucking cable is fucking, you have your sports games on the weekends or whatever, and then you have like fucking
5 minutes of
reality
your
TV.
You got 5 minutes of your show and then a commercial. 30 minutes of commercial. And then 5 minutes of your show and 30 minutes of commercial. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think and realistically, your show comes on, it says it's being recorded. If you record your shows and watch them later, whatever, it says it's an hour long, and really that show is only 40 minutes long, and you
Yep.
get 20 minutes of commercial, and you're like, why?
Because advertise, make money, buy the thing, sell the stuff, get the points, win the girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking trying.
But it's not a thing anymore. It's just another piece of shit way that people are trying to make money off of us.
Yeah. Sadly, we fall for it all too often.
Hulu still does advertisements
Do they?
and commercials. Disney Plus doesn't. Netflix doesn't. Paramount doesn't.
If you have YouTube
Your
Premium
Max
and
does.
YouTube TV doesn't. I don't think. I
I
know
don't
YouTube
know.
Premium doesn't, but I don't know about YouTube TV. The Satanic Panic?
I didn't know what that was.
That is the historical panic of Satanism, where people were like, "Oh, Satanism, it's evil, get rid of it, bloody, bloody, bloody."
Let's see. Oh, okay. So for years during the 1980s and 1990s, America became convinced that an underground network of Satanists was working together to kidnap, torture, and abuse children.
Yeah.
None of it was real, but the conspiracy theory destroyed lives and livelihoods. The
It was
pinnacle,
essentially the witch hunts again.
the pinnacle was Geraldo Rivera's infamous NBC special Devil Worship exposing Satan's underground, which was aired on October 29th, 1988.
If I recall, he got in trouble for that too.
Probably. Riviera relied on self-proclaimed Satanism experts, in quotations, misleading and inaccurate statistics, crimes with only tenuous links to Satanism, and sensationalized media reports. It was the most viewed documentary in television history. There are over 1 million Satanists in this country, Riviera said, adding that the odds are they are in your town.
How many did he say there were?
Over 1 million.
Okay, he's right on that. There are definitely over 1 million.
Right.
That being said, there are billions of people, and
In 1992, report on ritual crime FBI agent Kenneth Lanning concluded that the rampant rumors around the ritual Satanism were unfounded. Philip Stevens Jr., Associate Professor of Anthropology at the State University of New York at Buffalo, said that there was widespread allegations of crimes by Satanists constitutes the greatest hoax perpetrated upon the American people in the 20th century.
And unfortunately, it's because of misleading documentaries like that that lead to this alienization and fear.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's just like every religious group has its extremists. So I'm not saying no, Satanists don't do this shit. But Satanists basically don't do that shit.
They really don't. It's about...
I got a guy I work with, he's Luciferian.
What?
Luciferian. Farian. Whatever.
Huh.
Fuck is that?
It is believing in the empowerment of man. For the most part, your Satanists don't believe in the literal Satan.
No, they don't. That's your legitimate, like, devil worshippers do that.
Yeah.
But your Satanism, actually, it's the empowerment of man.
There was a meme I saw that said, "Wait, Satanists don't worship the actual devil?" No, they don't even believe in it. Then who believes in the actual devil? Christians.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Right. I mean, and all throughout all the pantheons, there is a version of, the devil and God. I mean, look at your Norse. Basically, Odin is God,
No.
and you have Hel, which is
His daughter.
his daughter, who is in hell. You also have Hades as well for the Norse, and
Yeah,
or
but
Greek,
even then, in those mythologies, they're not bad people.
no, they're not.
They're not like douchebags. They're just the people who have to watch the bad place.
Right, and they have to watch the bad place, the bad ones.
It-
Go ahead.
It's just dumb the way it fucking works.
Mm-hmm.
And all this other shit. The conspiracy that, Yep!
Sounds like starts with.
Hitler.
Oh, what about him?
No, not Hitler himself, but what he did.
Oh, how he had the spears.
No. We're missing all the points.
I'm sorry.
The Holocaust. There we go.
Yeah.
The Holocaust was a lie. It didn't happen.
Yeah, okay.
Motherfucker, I've talked to a survivor. I've seen the tattoo. I've seen the aftermath. Not pretty. None of it is.
No, not at all.
I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'd love to, if they were comfortable, sit down and talk to somebody. Who's
8th
been
grade
through that.
field trip to Washington, D.C. They sat us down and we talked to a Holocaust survivor.
A lot of
Go on
the
that one.
survivors are no longer living.
Unfortunately, no. And the ones who are really old.
Right.
The ones who aren't really old were infants at the time.
Now there was one talking about how was talking about how her and her sister, they were twins.
They were
And-
experimented on by Klaus, weren't they?
They were experimented on. Yep. They did do that because they saw
Fucking-
them as less than human.
No, that's not what they were after.
No, but they still saw Jewish people as less than human.
Yes, they saw the Jewish people as less than human, but the reason why they experimented on twins is because they thought that if they could fuse the twins together, because they were actually separate people,
Mm-hmm.
that they could achieve a super soldier-esque person.
Mm.
So they experimented on twins. They wanted to know if one twin felt pain, would the other one feel pain? Could the twins communicate telepathically? They went after all this shit. It was mainly because Hitler was into the occult. He loved everything to do with the occult. He studied demonic rituals. He studied all this different shit. The rumor that he had the spear of destiny, the spear that pierced Jesus Christ's side,
Mm-hmm.
that was true. He had that.
Did he?
Yes, he had the spear of destiny. If it was a expensive or rare piece of artwork or history,
Mm.
he had it.
Huh.
A lot of his hoard though went missing.
I can imagine.
Like it was said that he had it all in a room. I think it was called like the Rainbow Room or something like that, based off of the rainbow tapestry that was everywhere.
Mm.
I think that's what it was called. I could be getting it completely wrong. But it was a room filled with all of his treasures. We never found that room. And there was, in the rubble of the house that it was supposed to be in, there was no sign of these tapestries or anything. We don't know what happened to his hoard. It just all poofed.
Yeah. So,
Although the Spear of Destiny did end up in the Vatican, so it's safe to assume the Vatican has it.
right. Now I was looking up the protocol, the Learned Elders of Zion. Apparently, it was a hoaxed book that purported to reveal a Jewish conspiracy to achieve world domination. It first appeared in Russia in 1905 and described how Christians' morality, finances, and health would be targeted by a small group of powerful Jews. The idea that there is a Jewish conspiracy is nothing new, of course, and has been repeated by many prominent people, including Henry Ford and Mel Gibson, who is crazy. In 1920, Henry Ford paid to have 500,000 copies of the Protocols of the Elder of Zion published, and in the 1930s, the book was used by the Nazis in justification for a genocide against Jews. In fact, Adolf Hitler referred to the Protocols in his book Mein Kampf. Though the book has been completely discredited as a hoax and forgery, it is still in print and remains widely circulated around the world.
Why? It's one of them things that, because you're going to get idiots that are going to get a hold of that book and take it as fact.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to, history will repeat itself.
Doesn't it always?
Unfortunately, unless we can help it, those who don't learn from history are damned to repeat it.
Mm-hmm. We're special, unique snowflakes.
No, we're just learning.
We're just dumb. What else was there? Oh, you've got the chemtrails from
Oh, yeah.
airplanes.
You want to know what those chemicals are? Gas fumes.
Here, I'll find it. Where is it? Get down. Chemtrails. As airplanes travel, they leave behind them a long water condensation trails called contrails. These cloud-like tracks dissipate quickly, but to some conspiracy theorists, these condensations trails are much more nefarious. The chemtrails conspiracy theory holds the condensation trails are full of other chemicals that scientists and governments are seeding into the atmosphere. Why? Pick your reason. It might be biological warfare, population control, or geoengineering, or an attempt to manipulate the weather. Researchers who study things like clouds' impact on global temperatures are often harassed by chemtrails believers who think they're part of a large-scale conspiracy to secretly spray unknown chemicals into the atmosphere. According to Harvard University's David Keith, a 2016 study even debunked chemtrails scientifically, finding no evidence of unusual contrails or unexplained contamination in the environment. But the true believers aren't swayed, as The Guardian reported in 2017. Your eyes rolled so far.
Because, so, population control. If that's what the chemtrails are doing, it's not working.
That's not working.
Like, I'm sorry, but it's not. The world is vastly overpopulated.
Just love how far your eyes just
Because
roll.
they're conspiracy theories that have sound reasoning. I'll look at and go, you know what? Maybe.
Maybe.
But the idea that the world's governments is using chemtrails for population control is outrageous because it's not fucking working. So why are they still doing it all these years? I remember hearing about chemtrails as a kid, not knowing what the fuck it was, but like, it's ridiculous.
I love it.
You're ridiculous.
I am.
I just love sitting here and just watching his eyes just roll.
It's
so
like
far.
You have 5G on there.
Yeah. What is it? Hang on.
No, so you want to know what's dumb about this?
Hmm.
Where people are getting the most confused?
Hmm.
If you look up, will 5G kill you? Probably not now, because we've had to explain to people the difference between 5G signals and 5G's worth of force on your body.
Yeah, there's a difference between those two.
5G's in an airplane, like a jet, will cause you to black out and possibly kill you.
I don't think 5Gs will do that. I think a little more.
Over 5G's will cause you to black out.
Really?
And possibly kill you. Your body can't handle. Maybe if you've done it enough times, you've gotten used to it, you can handle up to like 7.
Mm.
But 5Gs will cause massive issues in your body. That's where people got confused. You had some dumb motherfucker going, 5G kills, and everybody else went, does it? So they started looking it up, and they were seeing 5G can cause issues.
Iris says that 5 won't kill you. Humans, if trained properly, can hold up to 10.
If trained properly, yeah, I could see that. I always thought it was a lower number, but I'm also going off of War Thunder, because your screen starts going black at 7.
Well, and like we say, if we're wrong, correct us.
Yeah,
let
by
us
all
know.
means.
So thank you.
I could be completely talking out of my ass going off of a base assumption that I got from a video game.
9 times out of 10. I'm just kidding.
No,
You're not
but
wrong.
I almost guarantee you that's what somebody looked up, is they looked up how many Gs can kill somebody, and somewhere it said up to 5 Gs, and they went, oh, well, these 5G internet towers could kill us. If they're killing us, they're doing a piss poor job of it.
Right. I mean, the only way a 5G tower can kill you is if, it falls on you.
I guess in theory, if you were to expose yourself to the radiation long enough, Like, I'm talking you're hugging this tower.
You're cuddling.
You're cuddling this tower for days. This is also assuming the tower doesn't have any sort of protection of keeping the radiation from leaking out. It might kill you. Maybe.
Or just make you incredibly sick or give you cancer.
Yeah, like, to say 5G straight up kills is... nothing straight up kills. Virtually nothing straight up kills, not without help. A gunshot wound will either cause you to bleed out or cause an organ to fail.
I mean, drinking, some bleach will kill you right away.
Not right away. You'll poison yourself. You'll suffocate, and then you'll die. You'll either die from your brain stopping or lack of oxygen to the lungs.
Mm.
Or your kidneys going, fuck this.
We out.
Like, nothing flat kills you alone.
Mm.
There's underlying effects that will cause death to occur. Nothing just goes, you're dead. It's like, it's not the fall that kills you.
It's a
Sudden
stop. Right. It's not the fall that kills you, it's a sudden stop.
Like, that looks like there's a fucking stain on your shirt.
I'm fixing it.
Oh, speaking of bleach, she cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Was that the oven that just beeped?
Yes, the oven just beeped. You have the 9/11 conspiracies. Those ones, I'll be real, kind of intrigue me because I look at it and go, maybe.
Maybe.
But also maybe not. And I know the biggest thing about it is, what is it, jet fuel can't melt steel beams?
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know if it can or it can't.
I forgot to put design on her shirt.
But
No.
like, you look at a lot of these things, a lot of these documentaries on it, and you're like, maybe. And people are always like, where were you when 9/11 happened? I was like, I was in elementary school.
I was in high school.
In high school, I watched a video of it happening, and I feel bad because I laughed at a woman who was like, it almost sounded like she was acting.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of dirty looks for that, but
Well, it's like, you never really know,
with national tragedies like that, it's hard to tell. It could have been a setup. It could have just been a terrorist attack. Like, we don't know. The people who do know are either sworn to secrecy or dead.
It's true.
That's the unfortunate thing about a lot of this stuff. You're missing the Men in Black conspiracy, though. I noticed you don't have that on there.
Let's see.
I know Joe Rogan loves that one. But of course, that one is another one that has weight, that there is a secret organization of men in black suits who...
Oh, yeah, the UFO sightings that launched Men in Black mythology.
Yeah.
It's possible that the story of the Men in Black, the mysterious figures that would become the subject... look at
Okay, bye.
No, a thing popped up on my screen. That would become a subject of fascination in the UFO conspiracy circles and eventually break into mainstream popular culture can be traced back to one day of June 27th, 1947. It is quite possible that it all started with a man, a dog, a boy on a boat. So the story goes, Harold Dahl was on a conservation mission on the Puget Sound near the eastern shore of Washington's Maury Island, gathering logs, when he saw 6 donut-shaped obstacles hovering about half a mile above his boat. Before long, one of them fell nearly 1,500 feet, followed by raining metallic debris, some of which hit Dahl's son, Charles, on his arm, as well as his family dog, who didn't survive the ordeal. Dahl was able to take some pictures of the aircraft with his camera, which he later showed to his supervisor, Fred Crispin. A skeptical Crispin went back to the scene to look for himself and saw a strange aircraft with his own eyes. The following morning, Dahl was visited by a man in a black suit. They end up at a local diner where the man was able to recount in extraordinary detail what Dahl had just experienced. What I have said is proof to you that I know a great deal more about this experience of yours than you will want to believe, the man said, according to author Barker's 1956 book, They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers. Dahl was told not to speak of the incident. If he did, bad things would happen. So...
Bring it.
Yeah. So Harold Dahl is basically what started it all.
There are other tales out there of people being visited by men in black suits. There's a video going around right now of a guy, and it's all CCTV footage, so local broadcast, anybody can look at this shit. Local security cameras is what it is, if you don't know what CCTV is. But it shows him leaving his apartment, and then he freaks the fuck out and starts running. He ends up in a building. It's like a hotel building or something. You see him run in. You never see him leave, but after he runs in, you see two men, and they're the same height. Their skin is the same, like, pale color. They're wearing the exact same suit and hat. They walk in, and you never see them walk out either. And nobody knows where this guy went. Like, he was on the missing persons record for a hot minute, and all this shit.
The dog just skated on the floor. He's like, oh God. Let's see.
We're about coming up on time, ain't we?
Yeah, we're at an hour and a minute. So let's see. Anything else we can go over? There's something about the pandemic is a conspiracy.
Yeah, they're trying to control us. They're trying to keep us in fear. Blah, blah,
Or the fact that it came out like years ago and talked
My
about
argument against that pandemic one,
it.
so what I hear a lot of, it's in the United States, they're trying to control us. The United States is trying to control us. The government is trying to control us here in the United States. If that's true, Canada and Australia are in on it. I got friends in Canada who are currently under curfew lockdown because of this shit. And then Australia, I have people I listen to, they're the Misfits. They do the Misfits podcast on YouTube. They're on their third fucking lockdown over there.
Yeah.
So if this shit is meant to control us, it's worldwide, not just in the United States. And they're also doing a shit job of it.
If they really wanted to fucking end this all, which, like you said, trying to control us, then they should just lock us down for weeks.
They could too. Like, people act like,
But
oh,
they're
the government,
not.
the government can't do this, the government can't do that. The fuck they can't. Legally, yes, they can't. However, nothing's technically stopping them.
And it's like, and since that day is coming up here soon about how last year on the 6th, how people stormed the government and stuff like that. So stuff like that.
That's stupid.
Well,
That's how you get shot.
Well, hang on. In context, what they did was stupid, but in order to make things change, doing that is how you make things change.
It is.
But they were doing it for the wrong asshole.
But if they wanted it to end, they would lock us all down permanently for a little bit. But they're not actually locking us down.
That's my argument against a lot of these conspiracy theories. They want to track us. They want to control us. They're already tracking us, and if they wanted to control us, they could. It's not hard to control or manipulate people. If you know how to do it, it's not difficult.
Fucking psychopaths and sociopaths do it all the time.
Thanks a lot, Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Hell, that fucking pickup line I did on you, what was it, 2-3 years ago? That could have been used as a manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
The world is a chessboard. It's all one big chess game. Your opponents constantly come up with their own pieces, and they place it on your board. You have to beat them. On your board are your friends, your family, your pawns, your knights, your rooks, your queen. The one who stands by your side and is your most powerful, most important piece. But is also your easiest to move and manipulate.
Swap, motherfucker.
I know.
Huge.
That's how I view the world, though. The world is a chess game.
I mean, I've always viewed it as that popular saying is the whole world's a stage.
All the world's a stage. What? I heard a continuation of that. All the world's a stage. Oh no, it's after all the world is a stage, and the stage is a world of entertainment.
Let's see, how does it go?
Well, the guy who says that is the radio demon from Has Been Hotel. Which is fantastic. If you haven't watched it and you have about 32 minutes of your time to watch the pilot episode, do it. Show them their support. I want more.
Yeah, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. He acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail, unwilling to school, and then the lover sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow, then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth, and then the justice in fair round belly with good capon, lined with eyes severe and beard of a formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on his nose and pouch on his side. His youthful hose well shaved and whirled to wide for his shrunk shank and his beard big manly voice, turning again toward childish treble, pipes, and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childish and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
And that's the whole actual quote. I prefer mine, though. It's shorter, sweeter, and much more to the
I think let's go ahead and end it for the podcast. So make sure you guys are going to hit us up on our socials. You've got the Tru Alpha on Twitter and Instagram under Holden Stevenson. Twitch, the Tru Alpha, or the_Tru_Alpha. You've got Fang, Fang0925 on Twitter and Twitch. And then you have all of mine, Patreon, Twitter, Insta, everywhere. I did make a Patreon for the podcast. I just have to finish setting it up. But once I get that set up, we can actually have a more easier, accessible place to get merch. So once I get that set up, I will get more into it.
I don't know why, but I could just imagine somebody coming up to us and pulling the Joker when he finds out who Batman is. I put my deposit down. Where's my goddamn electric car, Bruce?
He no longer became the Joker. He's like, I put my deposit
He
down.
was just another angry citizen who was pissed off at a rich guy.
Where's my damn car? Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for us. We really do love and appreciate you. You guys are awesome. You make this so much fun for us. We really appreciate it. Without you, it wouldn't be fun.
On with it. Quit sucking their dicks and get on with it.
So, like I said, just please hit that subscribe button. We love and appreciate you. And thank you for letting us be the #1 podcast in your heart. So, we will see you guys next time. And we hope that you have a wonderful new year. Don't make bad decisions, only good ones. So, nah. So, until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye!
Peace.
Later.